Social Studies 20, Short-Term Causes of World War I, Chapter 7, Related Issue 2. Last lesson, we looked at some of the long-term causes of World War I. They included expansionism, militarism, and so on. Today, we look at the exact sequence of events that actually happened within a really small time frame that will kick off World War I. So just think about the climate of Western Europe on the eve of World War I. You were supposed to come up with 3 words that would describe that particular climate. They might be words like tension, suspicion, outrage, whatever they might be. Just understand that that long-term climate made these short-term events possible in the first place. Event number 1 is the assassination of Archduke Franz Ferdinand. He was the throne to the Austria Hungarian Empire. He was visiting the town of Sarajevo in Bosnia Herzegovina and was assassinated by a guy named Gavillo Princip, who was a Serbian and a part of a Serbian terrorist group actually known as the Black Hand. He was shot at point blank range by Princip during a parade as he was touring the town in 1914. Notice that we're now into the summer of 1914. That's going to be important in the next couple of events. It turns out that Princip and the Black Hand were acting on their own without the guidance or knowledge or permission of the Serbian government. The Serbs, at least some of the Serbian peoples, believed that rather than Austria guiding the Balkan peoples, that it should be Serbia guiding the Balkan peoples. And so there were some groups, particularly the Black Hand of Serbia, that wanted Serbian dominance of the Balkans and not dominance of Austria Hungary. And so that's why they actually killed Ferdinand in Bosnia. It was more of a protest against the dominance of Austria Hungary over the Balkan peoples. Serbia thought they should be in control of the Balkans. So that particular terrorist group assassinated him in 1914, which outraged leaders in both Western and Eastern Europe. Event number 2 is known as the blank check. Germany gave unrestricted support of Austria. They basically said, Austria-Hungary, go ahead, do whatever you want to do to Princip, the Black Hand, and Serbia as well. We will back you up. Don't forget that Germany has a very formidable military. This is an important part of the sequence of events. Without the blank check, without German support, it's doubtful Austria would have done what they were about to do next. And Germany is just honoring the Triple Alliance that they had with Austria-Hungary and Italy. Don't forget about your alliance system that is already in place. Event number 3, in July of 1914, Austria-Hungary gives an ultimatum to Serbia. They know that Princip was from Serbia. They're trying to link Princip to Serbia as an excuse to actually go in and occupy Serbia. So Austria gives Serbia a list of 4 demands. They're known as ultimatums. An ultimatum basically means you tell someone either you do this or else. In this case, the or else is Austria is going to declare war on Serbia. Of the 4 demands, Serbia did not accept the last one, which basically meant they would allow Austria to come to Serbian territory and conduct an investigation as to who was behind Princip and the Black Hand. It would have violated Serbian sovereignty. Serbia said no to the Austrian ultimatum. Event number 4, the actual declaration of war. This comes in the summer of 1914. Austria-Hungary, having had the ultimatum refused, declares war on Serbia. Russia, in support of Serbia, mobilizes its military forces, and this is a very big deal too. You don't just mobilize your military for the fun of it. It's very expensive. It costs a lot of money. You really only mobilize when you're prepared to go to war. Austria has vowed to help Serbia. Event number 5, Germany warns Russia to back off. to stop mobilizing. When Russia doesn't, Germany up and declares war on Russia on August 1st, 1914. Event number 6, Germany declares war on France and Belgium. It's obvious why they declare war on France, because Germany's already declared war against Russia. Russia is aligned with France via the Triple Entente, so automatically they're at war with France too. They declare war on Belgium because of the Schlieffen Plan. Now, we learned about this last lesson. Don't forget the Schlieffen Plan was the way that Germany was going to invade France. They were going to outflank the French forces and attack them from behind via the Schlieffen Plan. But to do that, they've got to invade Belgium first. So now Belgium's involved in the war. Event number 7, Britain declares war on Germany, which was probably already going to happen. If Britain honored the Triple Entente, they were probably going to have to fight alongside the French and the Russians already. But uh, little known fact, in 1831, Britain signed a treaty with Belgium to uphold Belgian sovereignty. And so as soon as the Germans invade Belgium, the British also honor that treaty with Belgium and they declare war on Germany. So now you've got the full swing of World War I, the World War I as we know it. Um, all of the major European countries are involved. Between August 6th and August 12th, the rest of the alliances kick in. The remainder of the Triple Alliance is involved. The remainder of the Triple Entente is involved. And now the war is getting bigger in scope. World War I is the years 1914 through 1918. We'll talk more about this in the next lesson. There was a big rush to enlist and fight for your country. The thinking really was we'll be home by Christmas. We'll be home in a couple of months after being victorious. Little did they know they would still be there if they were even alive after 4 years. And several Christmases later, the cost was exorbitant. 17 million people died, 6 million of which were civilians. A civilian casualty means that someone was killed during a war, but they weren't a soldier. So in a typical war, you would fully expect one soldier to kill another soldier, but a lot of civilians died in this particular war. They were unarmed civilians. The war was also very expensive economically too, $330 billion, a lot of money at that time. Well, there you go. Short-term causes of World War I that could only have happened because of the long-term causes that were in place that we looked at in the lesson. Next thing we're going to look at is the actual course of World War I, so stay tuned.